Hello, how you doing? This is for my GoFundMe page, and basically, I need help. I had a lot of dental issues recently. On top of all that, I'm dealing with severe OCD, which is it got significantly worse during the pandemic, and right before the pandemic, I lost my car. So it was like perfect storm. Everything happens. The whole world shuts down. It's like what it was just like one thing after another. It was unbelievable. But so recently, the past 9 months, I've been dealing with a lot of dental issues. It started off with pain, swelling on the side of the face, under the eye, a lot of swelling. And I went to the dentist, and he goes, "What do you want to do with the tooth?" And I said, "Pull it, please," because I was in the process of moving somewhere. And he talked me out of it, believe it or not, several months later. And I told this guy, I said, I just want the quickest thing possible because I got to move. Financially, I'm running out of money. I need to get out of this expensive area I live in. And just this area in general, I don't like living here. And several months later, I kid you not, probably over a dozen times going back and forth with a guy, uh, he's finally done. And at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, I move out right after this was done. Okay. And that's we'll get into the whole OCD thing a little bit later. It all kind of ties in. So actually let's go in order, I guess. Basically, I have a severe rabies fear. That's my OCD thing. It doesn't. It kind of affects other things, but it's not severe. But what's severe is the rabies fear. Okay. So when I go outside and you look at me walking around, I look like I'm on drugs. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs. I've never been in trouble with the law in my life. I don't have a record. And basically, I look like a crackhead when I go outside because I'm looking at the ground for animals that could have rabies, something I could step on that could bite me to give me rabies. I mean, it is out of this world. Okay. So it got to the point I was like severely agoraphobic. Okay. It got really, really bad during the pandemic. So I said, like, right after this tooth got fixed, I was like, if I don't move out, I'm gonna die. Because I wasn't exercising or doing anything. I wasn't going anywhere. And I look like this or probably worse. So I didn't like pretty myself up because I want to show people like what I really look like. Like this is me right now and unshowered for several days. This is reality. Okay. So at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, I get on a plane and go to a place in the United States that's never had rabies. Uh, my money was depleted because I was messing with this dental problem, and I was there for a few weeks in Hawaii, in Honolulu area, like Kalihi, and basically I was getting better. It was so freaking weird. I mean, it was expected. I expected it because it's like my biggest fear is gone. History, it doesn't exist here. I had little moments where I would check here and there, but it was nothing. Absolutely nothing like it is here. Every single day there was like going outside and going to the beach, walking to the beach at night. I found an affordable place to stay there for about $700 a month. I met people there, and this is where I got these shorts at, these Hawaiian shorts, and I was having a blast. Finally, for the first time since 2018, I was able to go outside on a regular basis. It was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. And ran out of money. My roommate manipulated me to come back because this nobody wants to live in this place. This building is like, this house is so run down. And stupid me moved back. Partially because the tooth that this guy did a root canal on, uh, he put a plastic crown on there. So, of course, it broke and I had issues with that. So, I came back. That was part of the reason. But mainly, I was manipulated to come back. So, I came back. The dental stuff continued. Right before they pulled this one, because it turns out it was infected. Again, he says, "Hey, let's do a root canal." Another one. The tooth was broken, didn't need a root canal because there was no infection, nothing. So I said fine, because I don't want to have another infection ever again like I had before. So he does the root canal. Well, not him, but a different dentist in the office, and he did something. And there was no infection, so this wasn't like an open and med type of thing. This was like I was scheduled for a full root canal, start to finish, right? Not in sections or anything like that. This was a full root canal I was scheduled for. So I go into the guy. 15 minutes in, he tells me he stops abruptly and says, "I need to go home and take pain medication and antibiotics." And I was like, I've never had to take pain medication after root canal. He's like, well, you probably might have to this time. I was like, this. He didn't say anything happened. So basically, I get home, I lean over, blood and water come out of my nose. This side right here, right where they were working on. And he goes, oh, I call frantically, and he's like, oh, it's not a big deal. Oh, it's never happened. Oh, it couldn't have been perforated. It's never happened in my office. He says, oh, I've never heard of this before. Blah blah blah. I was like, okay. So I called around and over the weekend, and people other dentists like, yeah, it's totally possible because number 13 is right next to the sinuses. Excuse me. And turns out he probably did, right? So we're several months in dealing with this, and I'm still dealing with it. Every time I drink, I still get water getting in there. I could feel it. I get severe sinus headaches all the time, once or twice a week. So I'm dealing with that. I have to go to an endodontist specialist, and probably, if nothing works, I'm going to have that one removed as well. So I'm going to need a partial denture so I can eat properly. I have another tooth up there that's probably needs to be ripped out because it has an infection, possibly on the x-ray. All this stuff that I'm talking about is going to be down below. I'm going to have pictures, whatever, the x-rays, and um, all this dental stuff needs to be repaired because you just can't let something like that go. Perforated sinus isn't something you can just kind of wait out, you know what I mean, for a long time. It's not a good thing to have. Okay. So basically, I'm in a place right now I don't want to live in, and I want to move out like I wanted to originally. My ultimate goal is to go back to Oahu, where I have friends, and there's a cheap place there for about six something a month. It's like a room for rent in this building. It's my own little place, shared bathroom, but I'm gonna be able to go outside there. I can't go outside here. Period. I mean, I can, but it's torture. I go out as much as I can, and I literally have to uh, check the ground constantly. And I look like a crackhead here. And of course, I don't want to go out that much because I don't want to look like a crackhead. I don't do drugs. The illness is so bad with the rabies fear that it looks like I'm on drugs, but I'm not. I try to get help. I went to No OCD, did the different things there. 2018, when it first started kind of showing its ugly head, nothing worked. CBT didn't work. Medication didn't work. That's why I flew to Hawaii, because I'm like, well, if nothing's working, I need to get away from this virus. And sure enough, it worked. It worked really well. Probably better than medication because man, it was really come along. I was really improving really well. So my goal is to get the teeth fixed. Um, because walking around is torture for me because of checking, constant checking. I can drive a car. I have a license. I don't have a car. A $4,000 car is really all I need that would be reliable enough to drive and get me to places so I don't have to constantly check the ground, so I can have some kind of life, you know. And even here when I go into a building and leave a building, I check constantly as well. I mean, that's also another issue. Um I'm just checking for animals. I mean, I know it sounds ridiculous, but it's just the way my brain is wired right now. It's pretty bad. But so I need money for all this stuff is down below. Like I'm putting all the kind of what I need to move out, whatever. Now I know it may not be reality right now to get to Hawaii, but I could, relocate to San Diego. I came from there about 16 years ago to LA, so I know a lot of people. I know a lot of places I could live, like an SRO, relatively cheaply until I get back to Hawaii. Um, I just need to get out of here. I don't like living here, and that's a whole different video. And it's a very toxic environment. Let's just say that much. And I try to not talk to the person here I have a problem with, but when you live in close proximity, it's very difficult. So anything that you could do to help, and I mean anything, will be appreciated because I starve every month because food is very expensive. So within the middle of the month, it gets really um, tight with money, and I start to garnish the food. I go from eating almost 2 meals a day to 1 meal a day, and I starve at night. Like I'm starving at night, and I want to eat, but I can't. It's too expensive. So the last week is when the starving really happens, and the meal per day is very light. And I'm almost at the point where if something doesn't happen financially, I'm gonna be going days without food every month. Days. Okay. I'm in the middle of nowhere, in the foothills above LA. There's nothing here. I mean, we had a subway, but they took it down. It's dismal. Walking anywhere is torture. I mean, it's pure hell. I'll be honest with you. I have to do it sometimes, walk around and take the bus, but you know, I need out of this place. If you can help, I appreciate it, and anything will help. Thank you for listening, and have a wonderful day.